Now, for example, people can smoke if they want, right? But what has society begun to say to people who smoke? You can't smoke where? Yeah, and it's amazing. I'm seeing people smoking outside their own homes. I mean, their wives and their kids have driven them out. Isn't that amazing? When you think about it, it's the perception. And when smoking is a health hazard. I'm not. You're free to do what you want, but if you do something that the cost is to me, we live in a democracy. When people make bad choices, what happens? We pay for them. So it behooves us to help people make good choices. And that's the role of government. My offense is, if this were Don Barden trying to put a casino here, we could run him out of town. But he is using your mayor's lack of taking a position and your politicians that are willing to take his campaign contributions, and the money in both parties are equal opportunity pigs. Both Republicans and Democrats have been at this feeding trough, and that's what's driving it. So at this moment, what we have is the fact that our elected leadership are not standing up and representing us in terms of saying yes or no to an addictive product that's being brought in. So that's why it's vitally important that this information get out, and it be done on the basis of, is this going to better our community? Why would we want to bring something in to the heart of your city that I consider to be, at best, snake oil, and at worst, a cancer that just will eat the heart out of what you've built? Am I being too hard? Well, as I said, we've got work to do. Let's see what happens. But if you dodge the bullet, trust me, the only time you're safe is when the legislature goes home. You're safe until the next round.
Then they go back.
Yes, Bishop.
Tom, have you had experience in situations where, now suppose next week nothing happens, but we know down the road it's going to come back again. So what advice would you give a group in Fort Wayne, knowing that if it doesn't happen next week, it's going to come back again in another year or two?
I think this is the challenge. This city was not built by business, civic, religious, or political leaders to the extent that it's been built. I would ask that you convene the highest level of leadership, whether they be retired or current, and convene to talk about the future of Fort Wayne in terms of a nation that's beset now by a shifting of understanding of what is quality of life, what is good business. A quick example, my daughter is in the backyard harvest out in Idaho, where they're growing and they're sharing with food pantries. In World War II, 40% of the produce in America was grown in gardens. 40%! After the tomato scare, you got people now tearing up their lawns, not paying green lawn or whatever you come in to do the they're growing tomatoes. If the paradigm shift is we're going to be somewhat more conservative, somewhat more thrifty, somewhat more economically looking at local and keeping our economies flourishing in that way, might it not be a good opportunity to declare yourself as a casino-free city in a casino-free region? Include Angola. I drove 30. I didn't see any opportunities to gamble. I saw camping. I saw some water slides. What would happen if you start your tourist people marketing and saying to people, come visit us, locate here, because we are got a basis of an economy that's built on our strength. To me, that's what I do. And I'd insist that that become the image. If you do nothing, if you let this casino lay on the table, Bishop, you know what Chicago did? he had to keep the city depressed to get it in. All of a sudden he couldn't get it in, so all of a sudden Daley starts putting in planters and gardens and stuff. And so the city had its renaissance. San Antonio, renaissance, Omaha. So I'm saying, why not be very proactive? The same energy you put in to stop a casino. Organize at the highest level. Invite an urban planner to come in. Someone that's good at designing. They look at this and say, my God, what great tools to build with. If you do nothing, you're going to wind up fighting the casino. And for the mayor, it's crucial. He and the city council take this off the table. Anything less than that, if you don't go back in and say, Mayor, we flirted with this, we spent all this time, we want an up or down on this. If you want it, then we're prepared. But don't make it, well, if it comes, is that helpful? I think you want to be positive, but you cannot afford.
My main concern was that we developed a lot of energy around what we've been doing now, and I think that we need to keep that energy alive. And I just wondered about if you had any...
It's specifically mobilizing yourself on what Fort Wayne ought to do instead of a casino. Put the energy in. There's a number of innovative, creative ideas, and if politicians knew that citizens were willing to work, and it used to be the religious, civic, political, and business leadership used to sit and talk about the future of their city. It's not being done any longer. Clergy, you're lucky to give an opening prayer to bless the mess. I mean, I really want to tell you, that's where we've become. In the business community, I'm not certain they're not looking at the vision of their future at the bottom of their cash register receipts at the end of the day. I cannot tell you how many business people have me said, Tom, gambling is going to bring people in and they'll come to our business. Hello? If you've got a restaurant that's anywhere near a casino that's comping food, they're never going to come to your restaurant. And we have restaurants that close. Retail sales, receipts go down. But business people, Don, are you having trouble getting them mobilized? I mean, are they looking at you like, you know, it's tough. I can't understand why business people don't understand this is going to hurt them. So I think it's predicated on, could there be a high level, and I'd like the mayor to convene it. If he'd just say, you know, you've really wrapped me around the ears on casino, I'm going to take it off the table, but I'm asking you to join with me and let's put together a vision, name it what you want. The church always has a program about visioning something. That's what I would do. I would do that as citizens that want to take affairs of your community in your own hands in a positive way. But if you just go home, you're going to get delivered down a pike another promoter and a politician that might be willing to go.